Hi everyone, welcome to Science. This is Mrs. Scow. In this video, we're going to cover what the beginning of school is going to look like, some procedural stuff, and how science class is going to work because it's a little bit different since I am working from home for a few weeks. Right, so just a little bit about me this summer. Um, Mr. Scow and I had kind of a crazy summer. We remodeled our basement at home, put up a shed, and a fence. So those were the house projects we worked on. And then we also had this little guy come on August 26th. His name is Silas Michael Scow, and he is why I'm at home and teaching you from there right now. Scout is still kind of crazy. He's not quite sure about Silas yet, but they are getting along okay. All right, so let's just get into some procedure stuff. Classroom rules. So my number one, most of you know this, is respect. Okay, so respect all people, all property. Okay, you don't have to like each other, but you do have to respect each other. Next, be prompt and be prepared. Okay, get to class on time. When you get to class, make sure you have everything you need for class. We don't want to be taking extra trips to our lockers because we forgot something all the time. Okay. Next, speak at appropriate times using appropriate voices. Okay. If we're having classroom discussion, just remember raise your hand. When you're called on, then you can speak. Please no shouting. Okay. And most of you know this, but I am like almost deaf. So please, when I call on you to answer a question, use a good tone of voice. Don't whisper. I will ask you to repeat yourself until I can hear what you have to say. Okay? Next, listen carefully and follow all directions. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, I already have to repeat myself a bunch of times during the school day, and I don't want to do it just because we're not paying attention to the directions. Okay, directions are very important. Next, trash goes in the trash can, right? We're not your maids. Pick up after yourself. No phones in class. They must be in your locker. Okay, no phones in class. If I see a phone, it will be taken away and sent to the office. And then follow all safety procedures. We're going to talk about this during the first week of school, what safety procedures look like, what those rules are, but it's very important that you follow them all the time. Okay, these are my standard classroom rules. Granted, I am not in the class with you right now, so if your class supervisor, whoever you have each period, has some additional rules, you must respect their rules and follow their policies. Right, this is our grading scale. This will be how you're graded in the class throughout the whole year. Okay, so you can see there what it takes to get an A, B, C, everything like that. All right, so for grades 7 through 9, this is how you will be graded. Tests will be worth 55% of your grade. I do this because tests need to be the point where you can show me what you know. So that's why they're worth the majority of your grade. Then we do have labs and projects, which are worth 30% of your grade. I do this because labs and projects take a little bit more work and effort, so you should get more points for them on your grade. Then quizzes and homework. These are only worth 10% of your grade. Quizzes are open note, so you should always be able to get 100% on there if you take good notes. And homework is based on completion and being turned in on time. Then the last category for you guys is accountability. This is where you get points for coming to class on time, coming to class prepared, participating in class, answering questions or asking questions, right? If you are off task or distracting someone else, or you forget to bring your materials to class, or you're late, you're going to lose points for that. Right, grades 10 through 12, your grading scale is a little bit different because you do not have accountability points. Instead, tests are worth 60%. And again, this is because this is the point where you need to show you know what you're talking about. Okay? And labs and quizzes and homework are all the same. All right, daily assignments. So When we are doing the Google Classroom format while I'm gone teaching from home, I will be grading each assignment individually. Okay. Assignments will release at the start of the class period and they will be due at the end of the class period. There might be some exceptions to this, but in generally almost every single day you will have an assignment that is given to you at the start of the class period on Google Classroom and it will be due by the end of the class period. Now, if you have a late assignment, this is how you will be graded. If it's 1 day late or more, you automatically have half credit. So if you turn it in after the class period is over, that's late, so you'll be automatically down to half credit. Okay. Again, while we're doing the online format, I will be individually grading homework like I did last spring during distance learning. But when I come back, we will resume the stamp method and I will go over that and give you guys reminders of how the stamp method works when I get back. All right, note taking for grades 7 through 9. Okay, you will be responsible for taking your own notes. I will cover all the material by using PowerPoint format. These PowerPoints will be kind of color coded so you can learn how to take good notes. And then you may use these notes on when you're taking quizzes. Grades 10 through 12 for note taking, you guys are going to have a little bit more responsibility on your plate. Okay, there's going to be reading assignments and you're going to be asked to take notes from the text while you read. And then the next day in class, we will cover all of the material that you read about in a PowerPoint format. This will allow you to add to your notes where you may have missed something, but you should come to class with your notes already mostly filled out, okay? Because you're going to have quizzes before lecture, okay? So quizzes before PowerPoint notes. So you want to have some notes ready from your reading, okay? All right, tests and quizzes. Tests will cover material given in class. This could be lecture, it could be reading assignments, labs, videos, handouts, discussion, any type of work that we do in class is fair game for a test. Also, quizzes can occur at any time, okay? Because they can occur at any time, they are open note. Okay, so if you are on top of your notes, taking good notes that you can read and understand, you should do very well on all the quizzes. Test retakes. So if we have a test and you score below an 80%, you may request to take a retake. Okay. This is not a guarantee, not just because you fill out a form doesn't mean you get to do a retake. You're going to have to put in some work. Okay. It's only fair to do it that way because I have to make a new test for you. I have to grade a new test for you. So I expect you to put in some extra work studying and preparing for your retake. So there will be requests to retest forms available in the Student Center in my classroom. I will also put a digital copy up on Google Classroom if we need it. This form must be completed before you can take a retake. There are actions you have to do. You have to come up with 3 new study techniques and show that you did those. You have to show me your notes and all of your homework. And if you do all of those things on the form, I will check it over. And if you do it all to my satisfaction, you'll get approved. And then we will schedule a retake, either before or after school. Retakes can only be done a week after the test. Okay, so if we take a test on Monday, you have until the following Monday to do a retake. Okay. Retake scores will be the average of the original and the retake test scores. Now, we'll review this again after we take our first test. Extra credit. Okay, everyone loves extra credit, and I will be giving it throughout the school year. There will be lots of opportunities for bonus points and extra credit. What I will not do is give extra credit at the end of a semester or the school year to raise individual grades. Okay, so use all the opportunities that I give you, and you will have plenty of extra credit throughout the school year. All right, what you need to succeed. Every day you need to bring these items to class: a notebook, a pencil, folder, textbook, computer, and while we're doing the distance learning format, headphones. Okay, so bring your headphones. You're going to need them to listen to videos like this one. All right, now we're going to talk about some online etiquette guidelines since we're going to be learning in an online format for a while. Number one, no yelling, please. Typing in all caps is very inappropriate. Okay? All caps feels like you're shouting at me through the computer. Okay? And I don't want to be yelled at. Number two, don't abuse the chat box, discussion boards, comments. Okay? There's a lot of places on Google Classroom that you can write comments and things. Okay? These places are for you to ask questions or share ideas that are related to the lesson. This is not a place for you to just socialize and chit chat, okay? Because then you'll be distracted from what you're supposed to be doing. All right, next, attempt to find your own answer, okay? I know if we get confused or stuck, the first thing you're going to want to do is ask a question right away. Before you ask, I want you to try and figure things out on your own. So step number one, you should always go back and read the lesson instructions. So if you're confused or stuck, look at those lesson instructions all over again. Okay. Then number two is to use your resources. Looks like I have a little typo there in my two, but whoopsies. So step number two, use your resources. Okay, there's lesson materials. There's also the internet is out there to use your search engine to help you find your answer. If you are still stuck, then go to the help discussion board and write me a comment with your question, and I will get back to you and help you find the answer. All right, number four, stop grammar time. So always make an effort to use proper punctuation, spelling, and grammar. These are very important skills for all forms of writing, not just English class. Also, when we are using the internet resources, things like that, we cannot copy word for word. Okay, that is a type of plagiarism. Okay, so if you need to write out an answer and you used a resource to help you with that answer, you still need to write it in your own words and you have to give credit to that source. We'll talk about that when we get into some assignments. Right, number five, set a respectful tone. Okay, make sure to use polite and respectful tone in your online communication. Okay, we don't want to be writing emails and questions and comments to each other like we're texting or Snapchatting. Okay, be professional, use proper grammar, full sentences, and it wouldn't hurt to say please and thank you every once in a while. Okay. Right. Next one, submit files right away. All work will be turned in online, so you need to know how to properly submit your work online. Follow the instructions for how to submit your work, okay? And if you are stuck, ask for help right away. You don't want to get docked points because you missed the due date because you didn't know how to turn something in, okay? All right, next, read first. Make sure you read all instructions before starting your assignment. Don't jump ahead. Read all of the instructions. And lastly, think before you type. Once you post something, it is out there forever and there are no takebacks. So think before you type. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what Google Classroom looks like. For many of you, you should be familiar with this from last year, but we're going to do just a quick review, refresher of how we use Google Classroom. So your Google Classroom is going to look something like this. I'm using the life science page for this demonstration, but everything will look relatively similar for your own class. You would just have biology here or chemistry instead. Okay. Now, Google Classroom does some funny stuff. This page that we're on right now is called the stream. That's what it says right here. And the stream posts every single thing that I put on Google Classroom gets posted on the stream. So it gets to be kind of overwhelming Where I think you should start looking for your work is to go to the classwork tab. Okay. This will be put into comments or different topics. Okay. The one that you will be seeing right now today is this welcome back topic. Okay. And what you need to do each day is look at your to-do list. So you'll click here. This is our to-do list. Today, you're going to complete the following to-do list for the first day of science class, and the work is due at the end of the class period. You're watching the welcome back video with me right now, and you're doing the check-in questions. Next, you're going to join quizzes class, and the link is available in the classroom stream. And then thirdly, you're going to answer the discussion post question. So you're working on the video right now. The second thing you need to do is go to the classroom stream. So we'll go here and you're going to join quizzes. So you'll use this link to join quizzes. Okay. And then once the video is done, once you've joined quizzes, then you're going to do this discussion post, which is right here. Okay. It's just a short please write a short paragraph. Tell me about your summer, your favorite science topic, and your goal for science class this year. Okay, so not very hard. There are some other resources here. This is the syllabus and online learning etiquette. Okay, we went over these things in the video, but if you want a copy of these to keep, they're right there for you. Okay. Now, after this first day of school, then you're going to get the week 1 stuff, and it's very similar setup. You have your to-do list, and it'll tell you what you need to do each day. So on the 10th, you need to do steps 1 and 2. And the materials for steps 1 and 2 will be located below here. And see, they will be on Google Classroom on the 10th. Okay. Then when you come back on Friday to class, you're going to go to where it says September 11th. Here, this is due. So this is what I need to get done. Okay. So make sure you always read this to-do list. This is how our classroom is going to be set up. Okay. One feature that will be in every week will be this help discussion board. Okay. So the help discussion board, you're going to use this to ask questions. If you have anything about the lesson assignments aren't sure about, and you've read all the instructions, you've tried to find the answer, then I want you to use the comment section on this discussion board to write your question. You'll be able to see other students' questions, so they might be the same as yours, and then I will write answers back in reply. Okay. During our class time, I will answer these questions as soon as possible. If you ask a question on the discussion board outside of class time, I will try to have that answered within 24 hours. Okay. But if you're in 3rd period with me and you write a question during 5th period, well, I'm working with my 5th period students at that time. So I won't get back to you until at least 24 hours. Okay. Now, if you have a specific question about your grade or a private concern, please just write me an email. Okay, don't use the discussion board for those types of things because then the whole class can see them. Please, if something is private, send me an email, and my email's right here. Okay. Right, another thing that you'll see in each week is a support material folder. This is where I'm going to put extra resources. So here are your assignments. Here are the things you need to do. If you get stuck, here are some resources you can use to help you. Okay, so if you get stuck, try and figure out your question first by using these resources. I'm really excited to be back in school with you guys. I know I'm not fully back, but please reach out to me anytime if you have a question or a concern. And I will be back with you guys soon in October, and we will be moving on into a more normal format then, right? Let me know if you have any questions.